Good day, teachers. Good day, future LPTs. Welcome back to another episode of Science Majorship Lecture in this channel. I am Janlop Adlaon, a licensed professional teacher and a Science Majorship lecturer. If you are new to this channel, I would like to invite you to please subscribe and do not hesitate to comment your thoughts in the comment section. Okay, for this episode, we will focus on genetics. So I would like to invite you to please get your notebook, your pencil, or your ball pen so that you can take down notes on the important things that we will tackle today. All right. But before we'll proceed, allow me to share to you this passage in Mark chapter 11, verse 24. It says there, "Therefore, I tell you, whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it and it will be yours." Okay, what you will do is just to believe. You must believe that you will grab your license this year. You can pass the LET or top the LET. Okay, nothing is impossible in God if you just believe. And part of believing is doing your part also, doing your work, like studying, listening to different lectures so that you can learn things for you to answer the questions being provided by the PRC. All right. Again, our focus for this episode is genetics. So we have here terms in genetics. We need to really understand terms because um, based on experience, it's so hard if we don't understand the terms being used in the question being provided uh, by the PRC. That's why, as much as possible, we need to familiarize with the terms in the field of science, in the field for this episode, in the field of genetics. So let's start with the term allele. Everybody say allele. Again, allele. All right. The term allele comes from the word allelomorph, which means the other form. Okay. So this term is coined by William Bateson and Edith Rebecca Saunders. Okay. Again, this term was coined by British geneticists William Bateson and Edith Rebecca Saunders. And they use this term to describe different, the variant gene form of an organism detected as different phenotype. Okay, when we say allele, it is an alternative form of genes, different flavors of gene. Okay, when it's when we will relate it to a food, sorry, or a recipe, gin is the flavor. So we have in milk tea, if you like milk tea, we have matcha, we have Okinawa. Okay, it's the different flavors of gin. Example, the human gene for eye color, and it has alleles that code for brown or blue. Okay, another for our hair. Our hair, for example, there is curly and straight. Our skin color, there is tan and white. Okay, a normal diploid organism has two copies of every gene, one from the mother and one from the father. Okay, that is allele. Next, let's talk about autosomal chromosome. Okay, when we say autosomal chromosome, these are chromosome numbered 1 to 22. Again, when we say autosomal chromosome, these are the chromosome number 1 to 22. Okay, take note that humans have how many chromosomes? Yes, we have 46 different chromosomes, 23 pairs of chromosome, and 1 to 22 is the autosomal chromosome, and the chromosome number 23 is the, yes, sex chromosome. These are the chromosomes contained in each body. The autosomal chromosome is otherwise known as the somatic cells. Again, autosomal chromosome. Next is biotechnology. Okay. Everybody say biotechnology. When we say biotechnology, it refers to the branch of biology that uses living organisms to manufacture products or technology for the improvement of quality of life. So meaning to say, it just use life to make something. Okay, an example of biotechnology is the GMO, okay, genetically modified organisms, where they um, they integrate, okay, different trait of the plants in order to make hybrids, to make a desirable product. Okay, so that is what biotechnology is. Yes, you're right. Cloning is also an example of biotechnology. Okay, now let's proceed to chromatid. Chromatid, it is a half set of chromosome. Again, chromatid, it is a half set of a chromosome. Chromatin. Okay, chromatin, it is a relaxed state of chromosome with protein, histone. Again, chromatin is a relaxed state of chromosome. Okay, take note of the term relaxed state of chromosome with histone for chromatin. Histone is a water-soluble protein that is rich in the basic amino acid lysine and arginine. Okay, and these are complex in the DNA, in the nucleosome of the eukaryotic chromatin. All right. Next, we have chromosome. Okay, chromosome, it is a strand of DNA and protein inside the cell nucleus. Again, chromosome is a strand of DNA and protein inside the nucleus. Next, dihybrid. Dihybrid is a cross involving two traits. Again, dihybrid is a cross involving two traits. Later on, we will talk more about dihybrid. Next, dominant. When we say dominant, it is the controlling allele. Okay, it is the controlling allele designated with a capital letter. Meaning to say, if the dominant allele is integrated with a recessive allele, okay, the dominant allele will be, okay, the characteristic of the dominant allele will overlay the characteristic of the recessive allele. Right. Next, gene. Okay, everybody say gene. Okay, the term gene, take note, this is a board, this is a actual board question, okay, which I encountered during my time. Who coined the term gene? Again, who coined the term gene? Okay, it is coined by Danish botanist Wilhelm Johannsen. Again, the term gene was coined by a Danish botanist Wilhelm Johannsen. Okay, Wilhelm Johannsen. Okay, and he is also the one who categorized. Okay, he's also the one who categorized individuals according to their appearance, or the so-called phenotype, and the gene trait, or the so-called genotype. Yes, he is Wilhelm Johannsen, a Danish botanist. Gene is the basic unit of heredity. Again, gene is the basic unit of heredity. It carries instructions responsible for expression of traits. A pair of inherited genes controls a trait. One member of pair comes from each parent, often called alleles. Again, one member of pair comes from each parent, often called allele. So which is more complex, gene or allele? Okay, gene. Okay, gene is more complex than allele. And chromosome is more complex than gene. So chromosome, gene, allele. Allele is the simplest. All right. Next is genetics. Genetics. It is the branch of biology that deals with heredity. Again, it is a branch of biology that deals with heredity. Next is the genotype. When you say genotype, it is the genetic makeup of an organism. Okay, it is being represented by letters. Okay, it can be dominant or recessive. They can also come together, the dominant the dominant allele and the recessive allele. But as what I've said, the characteristic of a recessive allele will be overlaid by the characteristic of the dominant allele. Okay, next is Gregor Mendel. Okay, very familiar. He is the one who experimented with sweet pea plants in 1800s, leading to the formulation of heredity concept. Gregor Mendel was a botanist, biologist, mathematician, and a Augustinian friar. Yes. Okay, he is Gregor Mendel. Next is heterozygous. When we say heterozygous, the two alleles of a pair are different. Okay? Hetero, different. Okay? Often called as hybrid. Next is homologous chromosome. A homologous chromosome is a complete set of chromosome is double. Again, a complete set of chromosome is double. It happens in meiosis 1. Okay, when we say meiosis, it involves the production of, yes, production of gametes. Okay, production of gametes or the sex cell. Mitosis is for the autosomal. Okay, autosomal. Okay, next, homozygous. When we say homozygous, two alleles of a pair are identical. Again, two alleles of a pair are identical. That is homozygous. Karyotype. It is a chart of metaphase chromosome pairs to study chromosome number and diseases. Okay, have you tried to look at a karyotype? Okay, it's just it's like there is one side shows the metaphase chromosome pair and the other side is the corresponding disease. Okay, the corresponding disease that might happen if there is mutation in the chromosome. Okay, that is the karyotype. Next is locus. For locus, I would like you to remember location. Okay, locus, location. It is the physical location of gene on the chromosome. Locus is the physical location of a gene on the chromosome. Okay. Next is monohybrid. When we say monohybrid, it is a cross involving one trait. Okay, monohybrid, a cross involving one trait. Okay, let's say for example, you are only studying about the hair color, okay, or about the eye color or the height, okay, meaning only one trait at a time. So that is monohybrid. Next is a pedigree. It is a graphic organizer to map genetic traits between generation. Okay, for simpler concept, just think of a family tree. It's like a family tree, but it shows the genetic map. Okay, it shows the genetic traits, how it is gonna pass from one generation to another, from your parent to the offspring. Okay, next is the phenotype. When we say phenotype, it is the physical appearance of an organism. Okay? Genotype, genetic trait. Phenotype, physical appearance. It is the physical appearance of an organism. Description of the letters. Let's say, for example, are you tall? Are you short? Are you black? Are you white? Okay, that is phenotype. When we say genotype, that talks about the allele. Okay, whether recessive or dominant. Okay, next is polygenic inheritance. Everybody say polygenic inheritance. Okay. Many characteristics result from a blending of several separate genes that vary along a continuum. Okay, so that is polygenic inheritance. Next is Punnett square. Familiar? It is a graphic organizer used to show the probable result of genetic cross. Again, it is a graphic organizer used to show the probable results of a genetic cross. I assume that you already have tried to make and use Punnett square. Okay, that is part of your subject genetics during your college years. So who coined Punnett square? Or who made the Punnett square? Who is the proponent of the Punnett square? Okay. Yes, he is the British geneticist. Okay, Reginald Punnett. Again, Reginald Punnett. Okay, he co-founded with William Bateson the Journal of Genetics in 1910. Again, he co-founded with William Bateson the Journal of Genetics in 1910. And he is Mr. Reginald Punnett, a British geneticist. Okay, so next is recessive. It is known as a hidden allele designated with lower case letters. Okay, just like these examples here. Okay, they are designated with a small letter. Okay, that is recessive. Next is sex chromosome. Okay, everybody say sex chromosome. Okay, it is known as chromosome 23. Okay, it is known as chromosome 23. So what do you call the chromosome 1 to 22? Yes, they are called autosomal chromosome. Chromosome 23 is sex chromosome. Okay, for female, that is XX. For chromosome male, that is XY. Okay, the father is the determinant of the offspring's sex. Why? Why? It's because the egg cell of female always carries X chromosome. Again, the egg cell of female always carries X chromosome. And the sperm cell of a father carries either X or Y. Again, the sperm cell carries either X or Y. So the determinant of the offspring's sex is the father. Okay. Next is sex-linked genes. Sex-linked genes. These are traits carried on the X chromosome. Okay. They are sex-linked genes is the traits carried on the X chromosomes. Next is sister chromatid. Sister chromatid, it contains a whole set of chromosome. Okay, it contains a whole set of chromosome, that is sister chromatid. Okay, now let's talk about the Mendelian laws of genetics. Okay, so these are the laws being promulgated by Gregor Mendel. Okay, based on his study in the pea plant. Okay, we have here law of segregation, law of independent assortment, and law of dominance. I want you to remember SID. S-I-D. Segregation, independent assortment, and dominance. Okay, those are the Mendelian laws of genetics. When we say law of segregation, a pair of allele will separate, resulting to only one present allele per gamete. Again, law of segregation. Pair of allele will separate, resulting to only one present allele per gamete. Gets? Okay. So, this happens in the meiosis. Okay, pair of allele will separate, resulting to only one present allele per gamete. So, meaning to say, every gamete carries only one type of allele. Okay, that is law of segregation. Okay, next is law of independent assortment. Separated alleles are independent of each other. Okay, separated. But I would like to remind you that the law of segregation is not only limited to the gamete. Okay, it can be applied also in different type of kanang cell, not just the gamete. Okay. Next is law of independent assortment. Separated alleles are independent of each other. Again, law of independent assortment. Separated alleles are independent of each other. So meaning to say, if that particular allele from a father is recessive, okay, it will always be recessive when it is passed to the offspring. Or when the allele of a mother is dominant, okay, it will always be dominant. However, there is another law, the law of dominance. It states that the recessive alleles are always masked by the dominant allele. So meaning to say, when these two different alleles come together, okay, the dominant allele will always mask the recessive allele. Okay, gets? Alright, I hope that's clear. Next is non-Mendelian laws of genetics. We have here incomplete dominance, codominance, and multiple alleles. When we say incomplete dominance, carrying neither of their given trait. Okay, let's say for example, the parent is black and white. Let's say for example, a cattle. One cattle, the father is black and the mother is white. And then the offspring becomes gray. Again, the father, let's say for example, the father is black and the mother is white. So the offspring is gray. So that is incomplete dominance. Meaning to say, neither of the trait of the parent is being displayed by the offspring, carrying neither of the given traits. Okay. Next is codominance. Everybody say codominance. Alleles are both expressed. Okay. For example, in our in what we use as example in incomplete dominance, a cattle with black father and white mother, and then it just so happened that the offspring is a shade of black and white, or it also called as kabang in Bisaya. I don't know how it's called in Tagalog, but when the offspring has the color black and white, okay, it has a pigment of black and white, okay, that is codominance. Okay, meaning to say, alleles are both expressed. Next, multiple alleles. When we say multiple alleles, gene is controlled by a multiple alleles. Let's say, for example, our blood. We have different blood type. Not just two, but multiple. That is multiple alleles. Next, now let's talk more about the Punnett square. Okay? Always remember loss of probability to predict inheritance. That is the Punnett square. Again, loss of probability to predict inheritance. That is the Punnett square, which is being discovered or made by Reginald Punnett. Okay, provide a shorthand way of finding expected proportions of possible genotypes and phenotypes in the offspring of a cross. Okay, shorthand way of finding expected proportion. When we say expected, this is just a possibility of what the offspring's genotype and phenotype might be. Okay, from the cross of the trait of the mother and father. Excuse me. Excuse me. Next, fertilization must occur at a random. Okay, so why do we say that it's just a probability? Okay, because fertilization occurs at random, and always take note that every gamete carries different characteristic. Again, every gamete carries different characteristic. Okay, I just remember one meme. Yeah, one meme from the Facebook, which shows the race of sperm cell going towards the egg, and then you who is in the race, okay, is the main character, and then you are just an ordinary person, and your competitors were doctors, were engineers, were future pilots, and it just so happened that you are the chosen one of the egg. Okay, it's just so funny, but yeah, that's right. It's true that the egg will choose the ideal sperm. Yes. Okay, fertilization must occur at random. Okay, results are expected, not actual. Results based on chance. Okay, results based on chance. Results predicted by probability are more likely to be seen when there is a large number of offspring. That's why Vigor Mendel uses pea plants. Okay, he uses pea plants and made one generation, two generation, third generation. Okay, so that he can track, okay, how the trait is being passed from one generation to another. Okay. Okay, let's talk about monohybrid and dihybrid. Okay, a monohybrid cross contains 4 boxes. A cross between 2 heterozygous individuals would reveal a 1:2:1 genotype ratio and 3:1 phenotype ratio in the offspring. The probability that offspring will show a dominant phenotype is 3/4 or 75%. Okay, do you know how to do that? Okay, you would do that using the Punnett square. In the Punnett square, you have 4 boxes. Okay, for monohybrid, you will only have 4 boxes. Meaning to say, you only studied one specific trait. Let's say, for example, the color of the hair. Okay, the color of the hair. And you will only use letters, the same letter. Let's say, for example, if it's dominant, then you use, let's say, for example, H for hair. So capital H, okay, capital H and capital H and small h if they are heterozygous. And if it's homozygous, capital H and capital H. Okay, dominant homozygous. Alright, so that is monohybrid. For monohybrid, only contains 4 boxes, only studied one specific trait. Okay, next, dihybrid. Dihybrid is a cross contains 16 boxes. A dihybrid cross reveals two traits for both parents. Again, it reveals two traits for both parents. A cross between two heterozygous individual would reveal a 9:3:3:1 phenotype ratio in the offspring. Okay, for the ratio, you just have to count. Okay, you just have to count how many are the same. Okay, how many have the same genotype. Okay, and how many have the same phenotype. Alright, so that is for monohybrid and dihybrid. Okay, now let's have a talk about the central dogma of biology. Are you familiar with this? Okay, we have the replication, transcription, and translation. For the replication, this is production of DNA to produce, production of DNA to produce DNA. Site of replication, okay, that is nucleus. Okay, nucleus for eukaryotic organisms. Next, transcription. Transcription is production of DNA to RNA. And there is also called reverse transcription from RNA to DNA. Site of transcription, okay, also in DNA for eukaryotic organism. And translation, production of proteins out from RNA. Okay, site of translation, ribosomes in the cytoplasm. Again, site of translation, ribosome found in the cytoplasm. Okay, for prokaryotic organism, okay, the replication and transcription happens in the cytoplasm because prokaryotes don't have nucleus. Okay, they don't have a membrane-bound nucleus, and that is for the central dogma of biology. Next, let's talk about gene therapy. Okay, familiar? Okay, it is a technique that uses a gene to treat or prevent or cure a disease or a medical disorder. Okay, so meaning to say you treat something that is defect in gene. Okay, you treat some certain disorder, okay, with the use of a gene. That is gene therapy. Okay, a technique that uses a gene to treat, prevent, or cure a disease or medical disorder. Okay, and ways to do that is by adding new copies of gene that is broken or replacing a defective or missing gene in a patient's cell with a healthy version of that gene. Yes, that is already possible in the modern age today. Yeah. Are you familiar with gene editing? Yes, gene editing is possible. Okay, when the parent wants a child, okay, to be their ideal version, okay, they can do that already because of gene therapy. If they want to make their child look like this or like that, okay, they can apply this principle. Okay, next is genetic engineering. Okay, genetic engineering or genomics, sometimes called biotechnology. Okay, process of transferring a gene from one organism to another. What's that? Okay, yes. Process of transferring a gene from one organism to another, that is heredity. Okay. Organisms with transfer gene now produce recombined genetic code called recombinant DNA. Again, organisms with transferred gene now produce recombined genetic code called recombinant DNA. Okay, let's say for example, you have your ideal trait from one specific gene, and then you want to make your child have that trait, specific trait, they're gonna use that ideal trait from different gene to combine it with the gene of your child. Okay? And that is called recombinant DNA. Okay, the gene being transferred. Okay, example, insulin produced through bacteria, oil-eating bacteria. Okay, those are the example. Has application in medicine, environment, industry, agriculture, selective breeding. Yes, just like the GMO. Okay, just like the cloning. Yes. Next is Human Genome Project. Are you familiar with Human Genome Project? Okay, Human Genome Project is a collaboration of scientists coming from different institutions of different countries. 6 different countries, particularly France, Germany, China, Japan, United Kingdom, and the USA. Again, France, Germany, China, Japan, United Kingdom, and USA. Okay, those were the collaborators of Human Genome Project. But they are also being supported by other countries, just like Australia, Canada. Okay. Next is DNA fingerprinting. Okay, DNA fingerprinting. This is also one example of genetic engineering or genomics. Okay, next. Now let's talk about mutations. Okay, mutations, which is also a hot in the questions of the PRC. Okay, mutation is the change in genetic code. Again, mutation is the change in genetic code. Okay, passed from one cell to a new cell, transmitted to offspring to occur in sex cells, must have no effect. Okay, must have no effects because mutation always takes place in our cell. Again, mutation always takes place. However, most of its effect does not affect us. Again, most of its effect does not affect us. Okay, mutation is part of our survival. Okay, that's the mechanism of our body to adjust to our environment. However, there are certain types of mutation that is harmful. Okay, and later on, those were the things that we will discuss. The different disorders. Okay, the different disorders caused by mutations. Okay, we have here gene mutation and chromosome mutation. When we say gene mutation, that is change in a single gene. Again, gene mutation, change in a single gene. Okay, take note how which is more complex, gene or chromosome? Huh? Yes, it is the chromosome. Okay, gene mutation, change in a single gene. When we say chromosome mutation, change in many genes. Can be spontaneous or caused by environmental mutagens. Okay, when we say mutagens, these are the causing agents. What causes the mutation? Okay, it can be radiation or chemicals, etc. Next, now let's talk about the types of gene mutation. For you to easily remember the types of gene mutation, I want you to say seed. Everybody, seed. The same with the Mendelian law of genetics, seeds, segregation, independent assortment, and law of dominance. But in this gene mutation, that is substitution, insertion, and deletion. Okay, substitution, insertion, and deletion. Let's talk first about substitution. When we say substitution, one base is inserted erroneously, replacing the pair in that location on the complementary strand. Example, the sickle cell anemia. Example of substitution is the sickle cell anemia. Okay, when we try to look at here, the illustration, it shows the point mutation in a sickle cell anemia. Okay, we have here the normal form of DNA. We have here this middle gene here. Okay, in the mutation, A is being substituted with T. Okay, A is being substituted with T. Okay, during replication, it has a partner of thymine has adenine. Okay, so it becomes like this, and during transcription, it becomes like this. Okay, T is paired with A is paired with uracil. Okay, because that is DNA to RNA in the transcription. And then during translation, okay, this one here is, okay, that is glutamine. Okay, it produces an amino acid, glutamine, and that is the normal protein. However, this one is called valine. Okay, mutant protein, valine. So that is the sickle cell anemia substitution. Next is insertion. Okay, when we say insertion, one or more extra nucleotides are added, causing frame shift. Okay, so from original form CTGGAG, so in mutated gene, it becomes CTGGTGGAG. So there is a certain region being inserted. Okay, and the example of that is beta thalassemia. Okay, for insertion. Next is deletion. In deletion, one or more nucleotides is skipped during replication or otherwise excised, often resulting to frame shift. So meaning to say there is a blank. Okay, there is a blank. Okay, when we try to look at this, okay, during the replication process, okay, a certain region is blank, and that is deletion. Example for a disorder of deletion is cystic fibrosis. Okay, so we're done with gene mutation. Now let's proceed to chromosome mutation. Okay, chromosome mutation. Mutation of group of genes. Let's start with inversion. Okay, inversion, a chromosome's one section is turned around and reinserted. Okay, from the root word invert. Okay, from the root word invert. Okay, say one section is turned around and then reinserted. In this illustration, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, it is being turned around and reinverted. So 1, 2, 6 here, 5, 4, 3, 7, 8. Okay, that is for inversion. Next is the deletion. Okay, for the deletion, when a chromosome segment is lost, okay, all genes in that segment are also gone. So meaning to say, parang napuputol. Okay, napuputol yung chromosome. As you can see here, from the original form of chromosome, it becomes like this. An example of that is cri du chat, which is a disorder due to the deletion of the 5th chromosome. Okay, chromosome number 5. That is deletion. Next is duplication. Okay, next is duplication. Repeating a section of a chromosome increases the dosage of the genes in that section. Okay, duplicate. Okay, from the word itself, duplicate. So na doble. So coming from this original chromosome in the illustration, it becomes like this. This blue region becomes doubled, and this forms the mutated chromosome. Okay, that is duplication. Okay, example for this order for duplication is the Charcot-Marie-Tooth disease. Okay, next type of chromosome mutation is the translocation. Okay, translocation. For translocation, a section of one chromosome is abnormally joined to another. Okay, a section of one chromosome is abnormally joined to one another. So meaning to say nagka-mix siya. Okay, or na disarrange. Okay? Okay, a section of one chromosome is abnormally joined to another. Example, this one. Chromosome 4 and chromosome 20, the original chromosome. And in the mutated chromosomes, here, okay, we have violet, green, orange, and blue. This is coming from here. So meaning the brown region of the chromosome transferred to chromosome 20. It is translocated. Okay? And the original chromosome 20 is green, orange, blue, and violet becomes different already because the certain region of chromosome 4 is being translocated to chromosome 20, which causes mutation due to chromosome translocation. Okay, that is translocation. Now let's talk about the other types of mutation, which are the silent, the missense, and the nonsense. Okay, for silent mutation, no significant effect. Okay, these are the type of mutation with no significant effect. Let's have a look in the illustration here. Okay, we have this one. Okay, as you can observe, the original gene is G, T, and A. Okay, and the mutated gene is G, T, and T. Okay, although they are different, okay, they have different codes, okay, but they are classified as the same protein. Okay, they are different codons. Okay, they have different codons that specify the same amino acid due to the redundancy of the genetic code. Again, they are different codons that specify the same protein or the same amino acid due to the redundancy of the genetic code. Next is the missense. Missense is nucleotide change leads to amino acid change. Most common is C to T. Okay, example here. From the original chromosome, okay, we have here C, CC. It becomes ACC. So that is missense. Next is nonsense. Mutation. Change leads to stop codon. Okay, change lead to stop codon. Okay, so from this one, original chromosome TAC, it becomes TAG, which forms your stop codon. Okay, TAG, which forms your stop codon. Okay, understand? All right. Okay, now let's talk about the different genetic disorder. Okay, let's start with the sickle cell anemia. It is a disease caused by inheriting two faulty hemoglobin genes known as hemoglobin S. People who suffer this disease die due to constant shortage of the PF red blood cells. Okay, sickle cell anemia. Okay, we also talked about that earlier. Next is the Down syndrome. It is known as the trisomy 21. an additional 1 copy of chromosome in chromosome number 21, a total of 47 chromosome. Okay, that is the Down syndrome. Next is hemophilia. It is a genetic disorder that causes your blood to clot less. So meaning to say, it affects your blood. Okay, genetic order that causes your blood to clot less. Next is phenylketonuria. For phenylketonuria, it is an inherited disorder that can lead to excessive production of amino acid phenylalanine. Okay, take note, excessive production of amino acid phenylalanine in the blood, which is toxic to the nervous system that can cause intellectual disorder. Next, beta thalassemia. Beta thalassemia, low levels of hemoglobin, reduced oxygen levels in the body. Affected individuals also have shortage of red blood cells or anemia, which can cause pale skin, weakness, fatigue, and more serious complications. So that is beta thalassemia. Okay, beta thalassemia. Another symptoms of beta thalassemia is swelling of the nerves. Swelling of the nerves. Next is Kawasaki syndrome. Okay, Kawasaki syndrome is a condition that mainly affects children under the age of 5. It's also known as mucocutaneous lymph node syndrome. Has a high temperature that lasts for 5 days or longer, and possibly one or more of the following symptoms: rash, swollen glands in the neck. Okay, rash, swollen gland in the neck. So this Kawasaki syndrome is under study until now. Why? Because until now there is no such firm, okay, scientific evidence as to what really causes the Kawasaki syndrome. But it is believed to be genetic. Okay, it is a condition that affects children. Okay, so for another symptoms for Kawasaki syndrome is the inflammation of the nerve. Okay, inflammation of the nerve. Okay, not in beta thalassemia. I stand corrected. That is for the Kawasaki syndrome. The inflammation of the nerve. Okay, next is Turner syndrome. Okay, for Turner syndrome, that is a genetic disorder that only affects females. Again, Turner syndrome only affects females. In chromosome 23 of the female, one chromosome is missing or partially missing. So that is being represented by X0. So meaning to say they only have one X. Okay, one X in their sex chromosome. May include a short neck with a webbed appearance, low hairline at the back of the neck, low set ears, hands and feet that are swollen or puffy at birth, and soft nails that turn upward. Those were some symptoms of the Turner syndrome. Next is Down syndrome. Okay, Down syndrome known as trisomy 21. We already tackled about it. Okay, an additional 1 copy of the chromosome 21. Low muscle tone, a single dip crease across the palm of the hand. Okay, macroglossia or protruding tongue is one of the symptoms of Down syndrome. A slightly flattened facial profile and an upward slant to the eye. Okay, that's why mostly Down syndrome, a person with Down syndrome has different facial features. Okay, parang magkamukha silang lahat because their affected chromosome is the same. Okay, that is the Down syndrome. Next, we have here Edwards syndrome. Okay, when we say Edwards syndrome, that is trisomy 18. Okay, Edwards syndrome, trisomy 18. Okay, decreased muscle tone, intellectual disabilities. So those were some of the uh, symptoms of Edwards syndrome. Okay, I only summarized it so that you will memorize. You will memorize only only the terms that you need in order to answer the question. For Edwards syndrome, trisomy 18, symptoms, decreased muscle tone, and intellectual disabilities. Next, Patau syndrome, trisomy 13. Okay, Patau syndrome, trisomy 13. Okay, symptoms, cleft lip or palate, polydactyl, and low set ears. Okay, again, symptoms, cleft lip or palate, polydactyl, and low set ears. Okay, Patau syndrome, trisomy 13. Next is Klinefelter syndrome. Klinefelter's syndrome or XXY. Larger breast, smaller penis, and testicles. So for Klinefelter syndrome, para hindi ko to makakalimutan, I just think of a male with female characteristic. Okay, again, for Klinefelter syndrome, I'll just think of a male with female characteristic. Parang lalaki na may characteristic ng isang babae. Okay, Klinefelter, their sex chromosome is XXY. As you can see here, they have two X's, which is supposedly for girls. Okay, next is Jacob syndrome. Now, for Jacob syndrome, they have XYY in their sex chromosome. Symptoms is large hand and feet and speech problems. Okay, for Jacob syndrome is para siyang lalaki na nasubrahan sa pagka-lalaki in terms of characteristic. Because instead of one Y in their sex chromosome, they have two Ys. Okay, that is the Jacob syndrome, XYY. Turner syndrome, that is X0, which affects the female, as what we have discussed earlier. Alright, so that's all for our topic for today in the field of genetics. I hope that you learned something, and before I will leave, I want to remind you that you can do it, and you still have time to study and be prepared for the licensure examination. God bless future LPTs. God bless dear Jaguars, and see you on the next episode of our lecture. Goodbye.